Hello, and welcome to my tutorial on how to set up to record and monitor a condenser mic, specifically a Neumann TLM102, to Pro Tools via Vintech's 473 mic preamp and the Avid System 5 console. We'll also route the signal to a headphone mix using the console's auxiliary sense. The first thing we need to do is create a track in our Pro Tools session. This can be done in the menus by clicking on the track menu and selecting New. You can also use the hotkey Command-Shift-N on a Mac or Control-Shift-N on a Windows system. This will open up the new track dialog where we can choose the details of our new track. For a single mic, we're going to create one mono audio track, and we're going to select ticks as our timing base. Hitting Create will open up the new track in our session. Next, we're going to name the track by double-clicking on the track's name in the track list on the far left side of the edit window. This can also be done by double-clicking the track's name in the mix window. For our purposes, we'll name the track Vintech 5, which is the preamp we're using. But generally, we would name the track after the instrument that will be recorded on it. Now we need to set up the track's inputs and outputs. This can be done in either the edit or mix windows. In the mix window, click on the top button under where you see I/O to set the track's input. This opens up a list of all of the available inputs on our system. Under Interface, select Vintech 5, since that's the preamp we're using. Often, a system's inputs and outputs are simply numbers that correspond to the channels on the console. Clicking on the bottom button under I/O will open up a list of available outputs. This is where we can decide which channel to monitor the track on the console. We'll select Output 1, Mono. In our studio, the Vintech preamps are normal to channels 5 to 8 of a snake on the studio floor. Channel 5 is labeled 5 on the snake. Connect the male end of the XLR to the snake and then run the cable to the mic and plug the female end into the mic. Then go over to the Vintech preamp on the rack and engage phantom power on channel 1. Next, we have to arm the track in Pro Tools. This is done by pressing the track's Record Ready button. When the track is armed, the fader will light up red. Then, go back over to the Vintech preamp and set the channel's output to unity gain. The Vintech unit doesn't have a clear marking for unity, but for most rotary knobs, unity gain is in the range of halfway up to 2/3 of the way up. We'll set it to about halfway up to start. Now we have to check the mic. While checking it, turn up the mic preamp, which is labeled gain on the unit. Since the Vintech has no meters, we'll have to use our ears in the meters in Pro Tools. If there are any clip lights, we'll need to compensate by turning down the preamp. Now our signal is getting into Pro Tools nicely, but we won't be able to hear it until we send it to our monitors through the console. Earlier, we selected channel 1 as the track's output, so we're dealing with channel 1 on the console. Make sure that the console channel is set to control the Pro Tools returns. Our studio's console should have PT and the channel number highlighted as the channel's name. If M1 or M2, etc. is highlighted, the console is controlling the live mics, and we'll have to press the swap button directly above the channel's name to switch to the Pro Tools returns. Turn up the channel fader to set the monitoring volume for the track. This fader only controls the listening volume in the control room and will not affect the record level, so make this adjustment by ear. When we check the mic, we'll see it metering on the console's meter bridge, but we won't hear it until we go over to the console's master section and unmute the monitors by pressing the cut button and turn up the main monitor volume. Now we can see the mic registering on the console's main output faders, and we can hear it through the monitor speakers. To send the mic to a headphone mix, we have to go back to channel 1 and press the aux button to switch the channel's knob functions to the aux sends. Then, we turn on aux 1 by pressing In, which is the bottom button. When it's turned on, the knob will light up to say Mon A, indicating that we are sending to the monitor A bus. Turn up the send, and then, over in the master section, make sure that the Mon A master is turned up and on. If the blue light in the middle of the Mon A master is not lit up, then the bus is muted, and nothing will be heard in the headphones. We can confirm that everything is working on the headphone amp's meters. Mon A is normal to channels 1 and 2 of the amp, and we should see those channels lighting up. You can connect a pair of headphones to the amp to listen in to what the musicians are hearing on the Mon A bus.